At that time, as Jesus was leaving Jericho with his disciples and a great crowd, Bartimaeus, a blind beggar, the son of Timaeus, was sitting by the roadside. And when he heard that it was Jesus of Nazareth, he began to cry out and say, Jesus, Son of David, have mercy on me. And many rebuked him, telling him to be silent. But he cried out all the more, Son of David, have mercy on me. And Jesus stopped and said, Call him. And they called the blind man, saying to him, Take heart, get up, he is calling you. And throwing off his cloak, he sprang up and came to Jesus. And Jesus said to him, What do you want me to do for you? And the blind man said to him, Rabbi, let me recover my sight. And Jesus said to him, Go your way, your faith has made you well. And immediately he recovered his sight and followed him on the way. The Gospel of the Lord. Dear brothers and sisters in Jesus Christ, today's first reading speaks to us how Prophet Jeremiah invited people to see that despite their pain and gloom, their fears and apparent darkness, Yahweh, God is with them and will lead them out of the pain, gloom, their fears and darkness into a vision of pure joy and delight. In the Gospel today, we come across Jesus giving sight to a blind man, Bartimaeus. As he was leaving Jericho with his disciples, a great crowd of people surrounded Jesus and his disciples. There was Bartimaeus sitting in one corner and begging for alms from the people. All along in his life, he was a helpless man. But when he heard that Jesus was passing that way, immediately he leaves everything and began shouting, Jesus, Son of David, have pity on me. The people who were there began telling him to keep quiet. But he shouted all the more and said, Jesus, Son of David, have pity on me. Jesus stopped there and said to the crowd to bring him closer to him. When they said to him that Jesus was calling him to come, confidently, Bartimaeus was all the more excited. He threw everything and came near Jesus. Jesus asked him, What do you want me to do for you? He replied, Rabboni, Master, I want to see again. Jesus said to him, You may go. Your faith has made you well. Instantly he was cured by Jesus, and he got his sight and followed him. Bartimaeus became a new person. He began a new chapter in his life. My dear brothers and sisters in Jesus Christ, our problem may not be the physical blindness, but what it is. Helen Keller, who was born blind, once said, The greatest calamity that can befall people is not that they should be born blind, but they should have eyes yet to fail to see. What does this imply? In her opinion, more than physical blindness, other forms of blindness are sure obstacles to our growth and development. What could be the other forms of blindness? Is there anyone among us who is unable to see and appreciate the goodness, kindness, or the many sacrifices of others? Your spouse, your parents, your children, and your siblings in your circle of family? Is there anyone among us who is unwilling to see the positive side of your friends and colleagues and your superiors? Is there anyone among us, after praying to God, still unable to see God working in your lives? In other words, are you so much doubting God and others, judging others, condemning them, and negative about others, and despairing that even God has abandoned you? These are another kind of blindness. These forms of blindness come into our life due to our prejudices, insensitivity, jealousy, envy, and anger. This form of blindness is more harmful or hindrance than the physical blindness. Once, when a young man approached Jesus, Jesus demanded that he gives up only one thing, but the young man was unable to find that one thing and give up and follow Jesus. Remember, it is not the physical blindness that is an obstacle to our growth and development. It is these other forms of blindness which imply pride, power, prestige, and honor that cripple us and make us unhappy. The moment the blind Bartimaeus heard the call of Jesus, he threw everything around him and approached Jesus. We too are called to let go of our cloaks of pride, prejudice, jealousy, bitterness, and hard-heartedness and follow Jesus along the way. Are you ready?